Vincent Van Gogh, people told him, you can't be a great painter, you only have one ear. You know what he said? I can't hear you.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Philly sports talk morning show with KJ and Dalt. Proudly powered by 302 Birds. Let's take it to the show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Sippin' Sports podcast. Ryan and Dalton joining you guys this morning. I believe KJ McCoy is coming through later as well, so we're going to have a fully stacked show. But if you want to call into the show, feel free today. That number is 302-316-4848. One more time, that is, I actually just put it up for you guys, 302-316-4848. But a lot going on in Philly sports, a lot of changes with the Eagles this week. McCain on the move. But before all that, let's see how our host Ryan's doing. Ryan, how you doing this week?
I'm good, man. I got to tell you, though, what a disastrous new year this has been for Philadelphia sports. It's been bad. I mean, it's just been flat out brutal. It's been awful. McCain, Stoutland, Fangio. Well, now he's coming back, but the Fangio situation. And it's just a disaster. But me personally, I'm doing good. But me as a Philadelphia sports fan, not doing good. A horrible start to the new year, and we're in February, and it's not getting any better.
And the man, the myth, the legend, joining the house. Looking good in that, what do you got there? Is that a hoodie? That's nice.
Yeah, it's a hoodie I got for Christmas.
That's cool. I like the old logo. But how you doing this morning, KJ?
I'm doing all right. Not too bad. It's windy, cold. Feels like we live in Alaska. So, yeah, it's definitely been one of those crazy winters. I don't ever remember.
Yeah, it has. But let's go ahead and we'll get right into the Sixers. Speaking of your hoodie, I mean, like I said, if anybody wants to call into the show, that number's open. Let me take the number off. Do not disturb. Sorry about that. Now, if you want to call in, and if you do call in, it'll work. The number will ring. We'll pick up. Let us know what you want to talk about Philly sports-wise. But before all that, KJ McCoy, Jared McCain is on the move. We talked about it a little bit on the main pod. Are you happy? Are you sad? Looking at this in retrospect now, how you feeling?
I'm sad they didn't make a move. And, I mean, it sucks that they didn't actually make a move after. I thought, and, I mean, that was the intention of trading Jared McCain. They were going to then make a move, use those picks, and try and trade for a guy like Giannis or somebody else, and they just didn't. And they were lowballing teams, I guess, and they definitely were just they fell short. And really, Daryl Morey dropped the ball on this one. It sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, McCain, he gets to go in a great position. He gets to go to a great team with the OKC Thunder down there. So we'll have a good time down there. I think he's going to get along with those guys down there for sure. But, yeah, it definitely was a missed opportunity for the Sixers. I think it really sucks. I mean, like this deadline we traded, Eric Gordon, he was doing nothing for this team. But McCain was like off and on. He was back and forth with the Blue Coats and us. And definitely I felt like giving him up for those picks, I was like, okay, for sure they're making some kind of move. They're going to go after somebody. And then they just didn't. It made no sense at all.
I got to tell you this, though, and this is for me. I hate this, okay? And I'm not the biggest McCain guy, but I thought McCain had a wonderful year last year before he got hurt, arguably a rookie of the year. And then you look at it this year, he had a horrible year. But the fact that Daryl Morey, this idiot, by the way. He's not a very smart man. He has messed up a lot of contracts, a lot of free agents, and a lot of trades for the Sixers. By the way, I listened to his press conference, and what he says really tweaks me out. He's like, well, we traded Jared McCain with the intention that we were going to be able to use those picks and bring in somebody else. So you're telling me that you traded somebody with the potential to become a star and get back up to the level that he was last year, and Jared McCain, for picks without another trade ready to go. See, like when I saw that Jared McCain got traded for a bunch of picks, I said, oh, well, you know what? They're going to use those picks and go bring in, I wasn't expecting Giannis, but somebody else, maybe another piece, who knows? But that's what I was expecting. But then you go into that and you tell everybody you had no idea what you were doing, and you basically said you wanted to duck the tax without saying you wanted to duck the tax. You went into that with, hey, you know what? We're going to trade Jared McCain with the potential to be a superstar for a trade that isn't even lined up. And then you ended up getting zipped. Your team before Jared McCain and Eric Gordon got traded was good. I mean, it was better. This team now, I got to tell you, Edgecombe goes down, Maxey goes down. Who's going to step in? Kyle Lowry? Is Kyle Lowry going to be the guy to step in? I don't know.
Hell no.
This was an entire miscalculation, an entire misstep by Daryl Morey. And by the way, Morey's been doing this his entire time as a Sixers general manager. He is horrible. He is
bad.
Horrible. It is ridiculous to me. And like I said, man, I'm not one of these like Jared McCain lovers. It's not me. I see Jared McCain has potential. I saw the way he played last year. I also saw the way he was playing this year. Not very good basketball, but that doesn't mean he can't go in there and play and get back up to the level or even more. And the fact that we traded him for a late first-round pick and a couple second-round pick, like that to me is just not worth it. It's not worth it. And you could have sold me on, hey, we're going to trade McCain, but we have another trade lined up, whether it's Giannis or who knows who else.
Yeah.
You had that lined up. But the fact you traded McCain with the hopes that you were going to go bring in somebody else, that's a horrible miscalculation. That's a horrible misstep. And the Sixers just got significantly worse as we speak.
Yeah, because now you have 2 open roster spots.
Yep.
And it just makes no sense. I mean, you had I know the whole thing with, you had Grimes, you have VJ, Maxey, and then you had McCain. Now you get rid of McCain. You could also see on social media, I know that Jared McCain definitely had his haters and he had the people that liked him as well. But definitely you could see the impact that he left already. And he was only here for about a year and pretty much a half, I guess you could say. But you could see pretty much all of his teammates from the Sixers have came back and said how great of a teammate he was, how fun he was to play with, and how he's just a hard worker. So, all the Instagram posts I've been seeing, it's all been great stuff, really wishing him good luck. And definitely, I bet you a lot of these players are definitely questioning, who the heck is safe? Who the heck is safe with having a GM like Daryl Morey? It sucks. So I wasn't, just like Broad, I wasn't the biggest Jared McCain guy, but definitely I think if you make a move like that, that ultimately does mean that you have to make a move. No matter what it is, you got to make a move after that. And you got to make a trade, and they just didn't. The next trade they made was to trade Eric Gordon away for another pick. So using these picks, you better have some kind of blockbuster trade in the summer, in the offseason, because you can't trade now because the trade deadline's over. So it's over. You lost your opportunity at this season, but for some reason you still think you're a contender, but you lost a great bench player in Jared McCain. I would call him a bench player now. He's not a starter material anymore, but we'll see how he does in OKC. I think he's going to really fit down there, and we are going to be years later, we're going to be like, yeah, remember the time that we screwed up and traded Jared McCain? That's what I think this is going to happen.
Well, they brought in Jared McCain. They picked Jared McCain in the draft with the hopes that he was going to be able to play next to Tyrese Maxey, which he did last season. Then they drafted VJ Edgecombe,
Yep.
which to me is miles better than Jared McCain.
Yeah,
anyway,
he's better.
miles better. So to me,
no.
right, like they looked at McCain and they said, well, you may have too much potential to just be sitting on the bench, or like we don't really even see a spot for you. But to me, and one of my buddies brought this up, if you were going to trade somebody, why not trade Quentin Grimes? Let Quentin Grimes go. He's not coming back next year. And you had Jared McCain. I mean, look, this trade and this entire thing would make more sense if Daryl Morey was just honest. If he was honest, if he said to the people, I had to duck the tax. And by the way, people fly under the radar with this one. Joel Embiid asked Daryl Morey to not duck the tax this year. He said, don't do it. He said, can we please add pieces to win? He said, I want to win, Daryl. I want to win. Give me pieces to win. Daryl Morey said, no, I just want to duck the tax. Well, that was his buddy Josh Harris, that sleaze bag, too. So it's just a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And the Sixers got significantly worse. There's no depth pieces. If Edgecombe or Maxey go down, nobody. And again, we're going to go into the postseason with the same team, no depth on the bench. Kyle Lowry will be getting legitimate minutes. And we're right back where we were to begin with. So, good stuff, Daryl. Good stuff, pal.
Great job, Daryl.
That James Harden clip is resurfacing where he's like, I'll never be part of an organization with Daryl Morey. He's a liar.
Yeah.
He's a liar.
Right.
He's a con artist. He's a liar. That's just what it is. Daryl Morey, man, I can't take him. Him and Josh Harris, it's a disaster. It really is.
They're both slime
bag
balls.
1 and 2.
They're both slime
they're
balls.
total sleaze bags, yeah.
I want to say this, too, because I was thinking about this last night. The Sixers are basically the Cleveland Browns of the NBA. Hear me out on this, right? They may have a year or two like the Browns did when, what's his name? Baker Mayfield was there and Stefanski was there. Remember when they made the playoffs like a couple years ago and we thought, okay, like this Browns team may be something in a couple of years. I don't know, man. I feel like the Sixers or the Jets, right? And here's the main reason I make the analogy. The team trades for very good draft picks, value-wise. 3 second-rounders is a lot. But what the fuck do they do with them? Nothing. That's why nobody gets scared. It's like when the Browns make a trade and they're like, yeah, we have 3 first-round picks next year. You guys better look out. It's like, cool. Like, you're the Cleveland Browns. You've had 3 years where you've had 3 first-round picks and missed. So, I don't know. In my opinion, I'm just...
No, I understand what you're saying, but I do think the Sixers draft very well, though. I
they
think
do,
Morey,
but the problem is they give up early or they don't pay the guys because they want to duck the tax, like you were saying earlier. They don't hold out.
They've done better with the draft recently.
I don't know. I don't see anybody.
That's the only thing I give Morey credit for there,
can
KJ.
move the needle either that
No, I
they're going to
agree.
go out and
I'm
get
with
in the
you.
second round,
100%.
right? Like they didn't do anything with it, and now you look really stupid. You're just sitting here with these draft picks, which are good draft picks, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. We wanted somebody proven. Embiid flat out, like you guys just said. If Embiid is telling me as the general manager, basically, arguably, your best player, your most valuable player, if he's saying, hey, put all your chips in, I want to go all in on this year, and he's old, right? Like, he's not the youngest guy. We don't know how much time he has left. Why not? Why not take that shot? That's just moronic on my opinion for Daryl Morey. But like Broad said earlier, Harden pointed out too, he's a liar.
He's a liar. But here's the worst part. It's not like this is the team from last year where they had 19 or 20 something wins. Like it's not the same team. They like just to put this in the obvious ways. Joel Embiid is playing prime basketball again. He's as healthy as he's ever been. He's Joel Embiid in a way that nobody thought he'd ever get back to. Tyrese Maxey has finally taken the leap to being a superstar. He hasn't been playing his best ball recently, but over the course of the season has taken the step to be an absolute friggin' superstar. VJ Edgecombe has potential to be a superstar. I see flashes. Dominic Barlow is playing great ball. Paul George, even though he's suspended for the 25 games, he was playing some nice ball. Not great, but not ass. He was playing some good ball. So right then and there, you looked at this over the past couple of years, this may be one of the best teams the Sixers have had. I mean, you have a fully healthy Joel Embiid, and he's in a shape and as healthy, and nobody ever expected him to get back to that. And you're wasting that opportunity. You're wasting that one. How about Maxey too? Maxey, superstar. Like, there's just so many things, right? Like, I'm not saying that this team is going to go out and win a championship, but this is not one of those teams where you can say to yourself, oh, well, we're going to duck the tax, we're going to sell off a couple pieces, and then hopefully build for the future. This team with Embiid and Paul George, like, they're ready to win now. And Embiid playing his best ball and Paul George playing okay ball. Like, you have to put not all your chips in. You got to put some chips in, because to me, the East is pretty wide. I wouldn't say wide, but you can come out of the East. You can put a run for your money in the East. And Daryl Morey and Josh Harris, they shot it down. They said, you know what, we're content with being, a play-in team and letting Embiid play 40-something minutes and Maxey play 40-something minutes, and hopefully we can run them into the ground. That's their thought process. I mean, what a disaster.
Yeah, I was just searching up just now, like, what free agents are really, like, available right now, because we got 2 roster spots, but they're probably not going to even go after any of the free agents. I just saw that Cam Thomas is a free agent. They just waived him. The Nets did. I don't know what his stats are. I know that he was actually like he's pretty decent rookie when he was coming out of the league from LSU, but maybe they go after a free agent. I don't know. I think that's what they should do. They probably will just get somebody from Delaware, from the Bluecoats, and probably just elevate them up as a roster spot. But yeah, definitely, as Rob was saying before, you can't have Kyle Lowry getting more minutes. I don't think that's why he's there. He's really there as like one of those coach players. And honestly, he's also like an analyst part-time for Amazon. So yeah, I think definitely they shot themselves in the foot, just like Plaxico Burress did.
Jesus.
Yeah. Sorry to say that, Plaxico Burress.
Oh, God. All right. Well, anyway, that's a good time to move on to our next topic, which Stout out, as he said. Stout out. A lot has came since. Okay, sorry. A tree just fell right in front of me. I was worried it was going to fall on my house, but it didn't. Anyway,
it's windy.
ADHD's kicking in. Jeff Stoutland, his impact leaving the team is way more significant than we thought that it was on Wednesday. Number one, not only is Lane Johnson considering retirement, which this is going to probably have an impact with, but now Landon Dickerson at 27 years old, reports are that he is considering retirement as well. Can't really blame the guys if that's their coach, especially Lane. Lane's been at it for 13 years now. You know what I mean? We thought Lane was going to probably retire a year or two ago. Funny thing is, Lane Johnson is still, when he plays, one of the best, if not the best, right tackle in the league. So I thought Lane probably had another year or two, in my opinion. I'm a little bit nervous and a little bit upset. And then the other thing I wanted to say, apparently Stoutland and the Eagles weren't on the same terms of when they were going to break this news. Like, apparently Jeff Stoutland and that post that he made on Twitter and Instagram where he said Stout out at the end and he explained his feelings, the organization didn't want him to do that. They were still trying to talk, trying to figure out, I guess, probably a new role for him, a new way. And I guess that was his way. And this is what a report said. I forget which report, but it said that this is potentially his way of saying, hey, I'm going to be on my own terms with this. I'm going to do this the way I want. And if you guys want to call in, feel free. Let us know how you feel about the whole Stoutland situation. That number is 302-316-4848. That's 302-316-4848. Would love to hear from you guys. Call in. But, man, this is going to have big implications. And I knew that the offensive line wouldn't be the same next year. But it's going to be a real step back if you don't have Stoutland, Landon, and Lane. That really means that Jordan Mailata is going to be the most senior guy on this offensive line. And it feels like a couple years ago, he was the baby, So we'll start with you first on this one, KJ, and then we'll go to Broad. But how you feeling about the whole Stoutland situation? Because I think it's definitely gotten worse.
Yeah, there's definitely some more drama going on in this locker room than we know. I mean, it just sucks. A lot of it's behind closed doors. And even if you have Hard Knocks filming you, you still can't get more information out from it because it's that secretive of what's going on, and it's more deeper than we thought. And I think with Stoutland obviously getting demoted, and then definitely him saying what he said recently. Apparently the team and him came to an agreement, from what I heard, to both release statements out, but the team was going to release a statement out before Stoutland. Stoutland jumped the gun and released a statement before. The organization was really pissed about that, apparently, but Stoutland just didn't give a crap, and I don't blame him. I mean, if they're really going to screw him over like that, then I don't blame him, but definitely something was going wrong. I mean, you go from being a Super Bowl champion in the next season, it was wishy-washy. It was definitely like something was up. I mean, the run game was not consistent. I mean, it wasn't as dominant as it was before. There were some injuries, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, definitely, I mean, the years that we've seen Stoutland be dominant, I mean, this was one of the years that it just wasn't. His offensive line, Stoutland University, just wasn't succeeding. And that definitely played a factor. And I guess they probably had some disagreements, him and the organization. I mean, it seems like it. He thanked the fans. That's who he really thanked. He didn't thank Sirianni. He didn't thank Jeffrey Lurie. He didn't thank Howie Roseman. So definitely, I think that's a red flag for sure. So, and it sucks because, I mean, like, you come off a Super Bowl championship like last year, and then you come back to this year and you got all this drama once again, feeling like it's deja vu of 2020. I guess, what was it, 2023, maybe 24? Yeah, I think that season. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much deja vu of it, but now you got Stoutland's gone. So I can't even, I was telling Dalt this, I can't even think of a replacement for Stoutland because I can't even name any other offensive lineman coaches. I can't even name any. I mean, it's one of those things that definitely, like, I mean, the Eagles have been known for. And now, I mean, whoever fills in that shoe, it's going to be a pretty big shoe to fill. I mean, Stoutland's had a lot of pedigrees. I mean, he's turned an Australian rugby player into an NFL Pro Bowler, multiple-time Pro Bowler, a guy who is a great offensive lineman for sure, and Jordan Mailata. So, yeah, I think definitely, I mean, the impact of Stoutland leaving, I think, you know what, you probably could see Lane Johnson retire. If I was Lane Johnson, I would retire. If I was Landon Dickerson, I mean, you won a Super Bowl, but if you keep on you've had 2 torn ACLs, you know what, maybe it is time to just go back on your he's got a lawnmower that he got one of those drivable lawnmowers or something like that. Maybe he just goes back and drives in the sunset with his wife with the lawnmower, and they just do their own thing and whatever. Sometimes that happens when these offensive linemen just get wear and tear, and they're just like, you know what, I'm hanging up the cleats, I'm hanging the helmet up, that's it. So I think honestly you're going to see some offensive linemen probably retire, and you know what, good for them for sticking up for Stoutland.
This is an absolute disaster. I mean, this is a fundamental disaster by the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, by the way, I just want to give you guys something here. Nick Sirianni demoted a 13-year future Hall of Fame coach, but kept his buddy in there. He demoted a 13-year coach, future Hall of Famer, before he demoted a horrible offensive coordinator, which was his buddy, by the way. And this is just an example, another example. You saw it with Fangio. I don't buy, he wanted to retire. No. Vic Fangio and Jeff Stoutland, they are done with the circus that Nick Sirianni is running inside the NovaCare complex. If it's not more obvious than it has ever been that Nick Sirianni is an idiot, then I don't know what is. Okay, folks? There's a serious issue inside of there. A.J. Brown has problems. All the coaches have problems. Petullo, he didn't even want the job, but Sirianni wanted his buddy up there. Fangio wants to go. They brought him back, but whatever, he wants to go. Stoutland. I mean, when you think about Jeff Stoutland, you think about a guy that was going to die an Eagle. I thought Stoutland was one of these football for lifers. He was just going to be an Eagle until he died. This is a prime opportunity, a prime example for people to see that Nick Sirianni is running a clown show and a circus inside the NovaCare complex. I posted a clip, said this on my show, man. Lane Johnson's going to go. That's the bottom line. This is before the Landon Dickerson news broke. But Lane Johnson is going to go. And the faster people realize that, because I'll tell you what, like KJ said, like Dort said, over the past couple of years, he's contemplated retiring. And what's a better time now? What's a better time? Okay, you just lost your offensive line coach, who's coaching you your entire NFL career. You've had countless injuries. You're a 2-time Super Bowl champion. You're a however many time Pro Bowl. You've gotten all the possible accomplishments you want. It's time for Lane Johnson to go. He's done. Landon Dickerson. He's done probably. Who knows? But if he's done, if Landon Dickerson says I'm hanging up the cleats, then people need to really, really, really take a hard look at Nicholas Sirianni. Because if a guy, 27 years old, and an outstanding football player, says, I'm hanging up my cleats, that is an utter embarrassment by the Philadelphia Eagles, and the fact that they let Jeff Stoutland walk out of that damn building. And you know what? They couldn't even buy him back in. I mean, it's such a nightmare. You know, Fangio, you were able to kind of suck him back in. But I'll tell you what, man, this is an utter embarrassment. The teams around the league are looking at the Philadelphia Eagles and are laughing. They just let a 13-year future Hall of Fame guy who was made Mailata, who didn't even know what a football was, an outstanding football player. Lane Johnson, an outstanding football player. All these guys, and his resume is impeccable, way more than Nick Sirianni will ever be. And it's such a disaster. There's another thing that I wanted to say. It's just like, oh my God, I'm trying to think about it here. It's just frustrating. I'll tell you this. I really think there's a prime opportunity for the Philadelphia Eagles to finish with 9 wins next year or below 500. I do, man. I think people really have to understand this. You know, you have a first time play caller in there. Mm-hmm. There's a real opportunity that this guy can't get us across the 50-yard line. I mean, your defense, you're going to lose to Kobe Dean. You're going to lose Reed Blankenship. You're going to lose a bunch of pieces on defense. Your offense, I mean, Lane Johnson goes. You don't have a backup for him. If Landon Dickerson goes, you don't have a backup for him. You're going to run it back out there with Matt Pryor and Fred Johnson and all these cats. Are you going to go run that out there again? Because Howie Roseman, over the past 5-6 seasons, all he does is draft defensive guys. What about the next replacement for all these cats? He knew Lane Johnson was going to go. So as much as this is on Nick Sirianni, to me, I put some blame up there on Howie Roseman. Because the problem here is you can't tell me when they had the conversations about demoting Jeff Stoutland that Howie wasn't in on them conversations, right? Like it was Howie's decision, or Nick and Howie, whatever it is, whatever you want to say. But I'll tell you this. Howie Roseman's part to blame. And if they knew this was coming and they really thought that they could still buy him in without trying to bring somebody else in, disaster. And we talk about Daryl Morey and the Sixers. This is right up there at the top, man. Right up there at the top. The Eagles are crumbling right before our eyes, folks. Right before our eyes. And the faster people realize that the Eagles could add 8, 9, 10 wins next year, and Sirianni and Hurts are going next season, the better everything will be, because it ain't looking good. They are crumbling right before our eyes.
Yeah. And the thing that's interesting too, notice Landon Dickerson hasn't brought up a single peep about retirement until the Jeff Stoutland news. Like, if that doesn't make it obvious to every Philly fan that this has serious implications. More like we knew that Lane potentially might retire, right? Like that whole class of Eagles, all those older guys have the right to retire. But when you're 27 years old, you have the right to retire at any time. I want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
But you still have gas in the tank. Like Broad said, Landon Dickerson is an all-pro player. He is a phenomenal specimen at left guard, I believe it is. Yeah, left guard. Sorry, I knew he was a guard. I just forgot for a second which side. But like one of the best guards in the league, has done his job exceptionally well for a long time and has done everything that the Philadelphia Eagles have asked of him. Has played in 2 Super Bowls, has really just done a great job developing as a player. And I feel like because of one bad season and then one bad offseason coupled together, you're going to lose a couple really good players. Like Lane Johnson is still a 99 in Madden. Is Madden accurate? No. But my point is Lane Johnson still has a lot of gas left in the tank too. Not a lot, but I think Lane could come out one more year and still play at a high level. After that, I don't know how good he would be. And it's no disrespect to Lane. It's just Father Time catches up with everybody. But you're going to have guys that are going to decide to leave this team and retire early because of the way that Jeff Stoutland and leadership was treated. Like you guys said as well, you're picking a guy that's your buddy over a dude who has been with this organization through both Super Bowls, through multiple quarterbacks, and through multiple just lifetimes and lifespans of the team. Stoutland was here through Carson Wentz. Stoutland was here, I believe, through Foles in the beginning when Foles first got here. And I think
Chip Kelly brought him in
here. Stoutland
Yeah,
was here.
Chip Kelly brought him in,
Yeah, for Sanchez in 2015 when Mark Sanchez played that game. Stoutland was here for Jalen Hurts, that whole era. You know what I mean? Backups that have came and went. Pickett. Like, he has been a integral piece to this team. And you basically, it's funny, I was wrong on the demotion. So I just want to say that. Like in sports talk, when people are wrong, I like when people have accountability and they come out and say that they were wrong. I was 100% wrong thinking that demotion was not a big deal. Like I thought, okay, he's just going to go back to the run game. He's going to do his thing. Or he's just going to go back to the offensive line, rather. He's going to focus on keeping these guys healthy. He's going to focus on keeping these guys well-trained. And the offensive line is going to have a great season next year. They're going to bounce back. It was a big deal. And there's a video that has popped up, and I'll leave it at this because I don't want to go too long. And like I said, we can just keep bouncing around. We don't have to stop on one take. My thing is, I saw a video that Brotherly Love on Philadelphia posted, and the video is going around. And it's basically this speech that Stoutland made after the Super Bowl. And if you watch it closely, it looks like in the beginning he wanted to talk about more. Like there was more adversity that went on last year throughout them winning the Super Bowl. But when you win the Super Bowl, right, are you going to go out there and talk about all the problems that you had in the locker room or adversity or things that went wrong? No, you're not. You're just going to praise the team, praise the fans, and act like everything's okay because that's what you do when you win a Super Bowl. You try to run it back. You don't want to create extra drama. But when you watch that video, if you watch Jeff Stoutland's eyes, they speak more words, I think, than people know. And like KJ said earlier, too, like there's more going on in that locker room than any of us have any idea about. Like they have some serious issues. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that with pride. I just say it because, like, not for clickbait. Like somebody said, oh, 302 Birds is clickbait in the comments. Number one, motherfucker, we've been clickbait since the start. We're content creators. Like, don't you what do you think I'm going out there playing football myself? No, of course we're clickbait. Number two, this isn't clickbait. Like, this is serious issues with their offensive line. But, like, who's going to develop this next generation of offensive linemen? You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem. The guys that are leaving were a part of Stoutland U, have showed that they can play at a high level. The guys that are around, we pretty much have Jordan Mailata and Cam Jurgens. Am I wrong? If Landon retires and Lane goes.
Yeah, those are it.
Yeah, so You go from having the best line in the league a year ago, by far, with big ticket Mekhi Becton on it, to the worst. But I don't want to keep rambling. I'm very disappointed in the front office because they should have seen this coming. Like, they should have saw it. You're good. Sorry.
I tell you this, though. I think it really speaks volumes. I don't know if you guys saw this. Darius Slay, when the news broke that Stoutland was leaving, he says on Twitter or whatever platform, because I saw it somewhere, I don't remember, and he said, best coach in that building. By the way, Darius Slay worked with Vic Fangio, who is an outstanding defensive coordinator, and didn't really even work with Jeff Stoutland because he's not an offensive lineman. He's not a part of the run game either. So the fact that Darius Slay, who is a cornerback and a defensive guy, said that Jeff Stoutland is the best coach in that building, to me, speaks volumes. Okay, speaks absolute volumes. Now, I can name 100 different things that caused this team to be not good and play horribly last year than Jeff Stoutland. A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts had a bad year. Saquon Barkley had a bad year. Kevin Petullo, Nick Sirianni. Injuries. Look, that you could say the offensive line played bad, which they did. But you have to remember how banged up they were. Dickerson was hurt. Lane Johnson was hurt. Juergens was hurt. You had Fred Johnson, Matt Pryor. It was like an absolute joke out there. The only guy that was somewhat suitable was Fred Johnson, but he kind of sparkled out too. It was a disaster. So we can sit here and we can talk about all we want about how bad the offensive line was. Not saying that you guys are or not, but I'm talking about as the media as a whole, talking about how bad offensive line was. But I can name 1,000 different things that were more importantly bad than the offensive line with injuries. I mean, the A.J. Brown stuff. That game versus San Francisco, A.J. Brown just pulled his pants down and shit all over your face. That's what he did. That's what he did. I mean, it's the truth. I mean,
I'm sorry.
That is exactly what he did, and he didn't care. And now you hear one of his clips. Oh well, Philly's my home. No, it's not, bro. Just go to New England. I don't want to look at you no more. I don't want to hear you no more. Please. But I don't even want to go on a tangent. I could just name 5,000 different things that were more importantly bad than Jeff Stoutland and Jeff Stoutland's role. So Saquon Barkley diminished. He was not good at all last year. Okay? Are you going to sit there and blame that on Jeff Stoutland? You're going to blame that on Jeff Stoutland? Or are you going to say, yeah, I caused Saquon Barkley to be bad? Because the offensive line, outside of the first couple weeks where they were banged up, they started to create holes for Barkley. Barkley was able to break through if he really wanted to, but Barkley, he diminished. And who knows what Barkley's going to be next year. But you sat there and and not you guys, but the organization and people are blaming this guy, a 13-year future Hall of Famer, for a problem that has nothing to do with him. And that, to me, is a disaster. This organization, this team, just made the 13-year future Hall of Famer feel small and feel unwanted. And that is an absolute disaster. That's a disgrace. It really is. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, what he does. I mean, does he go to another team? I mean, and then maybe he joins – I mean, this would be crazy, but what if he joins the freaking Giants and revives that offensive line?
Well, let him, because at this point, let him, because you know what? This team at some point has to learn the hard way. The Sixers have to learn the hard way. The Phillies have to learn the hard way. The Philadelphia Eagles
they've been learning.
Yeah, no, and I'll tell you this: Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie over the course of the past 10 years, it has been the same this is our style. This is the way we do it. This is our coaches. And we'll move bits and pieces here and there. But this is it. Okay? And at some point, man, teams figure you out. You bring in the wrong guys. But, I mean, at some point, the Eagles have to learn the hard way. You know, you have to learn the hard way. The fact that this many people feel upset and annoyed that Jeff Stoutland, players, I mean, or this feeling this bad that Jeff Stoutland's leaving, that the organization, I think Dalton said this, the organization should be quite scared. They should be quite scared. Okay. I don't even, there's nothing else to it. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm telling you this right now. This is an unofficial prediction for next year. Unofficial. 9 wins for the Philadelphia Eagles. 8 to 9, 10 wins. They're in that ballpark. The Giants are going to get better. The Giants have Malik Neighbors. They got Scottaboo. They got Dort. They got a competent head coach now. I mean, the Cowboys had a great offense last year with a horrible defense. They just brought in Christian Parker, our homeboy, our boy. They brought him in. You don't think he's going to revamp that defense? I wouldn't be surprised if Reed Blankenship and Kobe Dean go down there to Dallas. Come on, man. The Eagles have a real opportunity to be skidding here.
It could get worse really quick.
Yeah.
But the one thing I want to say, too, before I kick it to KJ, I didn't even think about this, Broad, until you said it. What about the Barkley impact, right, of Stoutland? Like, if we don't – I was naive to think that. You don't think that this is going to have an impact on Saquon Barkley's retirement decision, too? Like, part of his decision to come to the Philadelphia Eagles was because the offensive line was so good. And now it's not going to be playing at that high level. I'm worried about that. And then the only other thing I wanted to say, the team is apparently saying to players, get on board, or like Hurts, I've heard, is saying this in the locker room or around the locker room. The message is basically get on board or get out. Like, we don't need people that are half in, half out. We're going to make changes offensively. Things are going to happen. And if you're not about it, get out. I'm interested to see, how does A.J. Brown react to all this? Because he did say, like Broad said, I'm here. That's the story that's this morning. I am very interested to see, how does it all develop when this podcast comes out that he went on with Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski? Because if we're going to sit here and act like he didn't get asked questions about that, we're naive. But I'll start with you first, KJ. Does this worry you at all? Or does the comment this morning kind of keep you rest assured that he said that? Because I will give AJ credit. That was a good thing to say.
He goes off and on. I mean, this is AJ's kind of bread and butter. I mean, he'll go from one day to being like, oh, I love Philadelphia. And then the next day he'll just be talking about his childhood dream of playing for the Patriots. This is just who AJ is. And I've come to this realization, this is just what we're going to get from AJ. One day he's going to love us and say that he loves us. And then he's going to talk about the Patriots and, oh, I had a pass with Tom Brady on the sideline before the game. Like, that just, it's what's going to happen. Yes, it feels weird for us. I mean, because we beat the Patriots years ago in the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like, this is just how it's going to happen. He's always going to mention them. Even if he is a member of the Philadelphia Eagles next season, he's going to keep on mentioning the Patriots. We're going to get tired of it. We're going to be like, oh my God, like, this guy wants to be a Patriot. Maybe he does, but he also, I think a part of him also does like the fans. I think he does like us. I think he enjoys Malik Joe having all those shirts. Shout out to our guy Malik Joe, having all those shirts saying always open and giving him the always open sign and everything like that. I think he enjoys those kind of fan experiences like that. So that's what I think keeps him around. But I mean, he definitely, I think he likes to poke the bear. And I mean, poke people's, like, the media. He likes to poke the media. And I don't blame him for poking the media, because some of the media is stupid. Some of the media, I mean, most of the Philadelphia media, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the other guys that ask the
302 Birds sucks. You guys are clickbait.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the ones that really go to there. And they're the reporters, and they keep on asking, so, AJ, you said you wanted to be out of here. And he'll be like, no, I didn't exactly say that, and yada, yada, yada. He might, like, hint to something like that, but he's doing clickbait as well. I mean, it's kind of like how Joel Embiid trolls people and everything like that. That's what AJ does. Is it annoying? Yeah, it's really annoying. But, I mean, we'll see what happens with AJ. Would I be mad if they trade him? Not really. I wouldn't be that mad as I would be about a year ago or something like that. But you know what? It does get little frustrated. And I'm kind of with Broad on this too. Like, you know what? If you want to go to New England, you want to talk about them all the time, then just go up to New England. I mean, like, just go do that. But for some reason, he wants to play hard to get, and he just wants to it's like he's having fun with this, which is kind of annoying, but I don't know. It's just like, it is what it is with AJ. AJ is going to be AJ. We're not going to change his personality, and he likes to just have the Patriots as a mutual respect kind of thing.
And it's almost like a match made in heaven, too. Like, for the Patriots with Vrabel. Vrabel used to coach him in Tennessee. We know how that all worked. That mesh, that went really well. It's almost like if there's anywhere where he's going to go, New England is by far the best landing spot, especially with a season like New England had, right? Like, if you imagine if they had A.J. Brown and Diggs, who has played at a high level this year, there next year, they'd be a pretty good team. Like, May could go in the running for MVP. And here's what I mean by that. We all know the NFL loves New England. They love them, right? Robert Kraft, Goodell, the picture with Brady, all three of them last night. Like, they're the golden boy. I'm pretty sure Drake May, and I saw this last night, which baffles me, I think he's above like a 93. He might be a 94 in Madden already. And once again, Madden ratings don't mean anything. But what I'm trying to say, that just shows how much the league favors New England over Philadelphia, right? Like, we already knew this, but to a different extent. Jalen Hurts has already played in 2 Super Bowls and won 1. And I think, yes, he has up and down days, but some people will say that the Eagles had a candy cane schedule last year. Who had a more candy cane schedule than New England this year? Like, their path to the Super Bowl was pretty easy. So I'm not saying New England isn't a good team. I'm not trying to discredit them either. I'm just saying, if A.J. Brown goes to New England, I could see a Drake May MVP season next year. And I think New England's going to probably press for AJ. Like, I really could see them making an offer draft night for a first-round pick. And honestly, if you're the Eagles and you get offered a first-round pick for AJ Brown, take it. Take it in a heartbeat, because that's a no-brainer. You can bring in a player in the first round, and for 5 years, you can pay him on a rookie deal. And having to pay A.J. Brown, having to argue with A.J. Brown, and having the drama with A.J. Brown. Like, I'm just so sick and tired of some of these fans who are like, yeah, stop with the drama. This is the problem with the media. It's not the media's fault when A.J. Brown does something that we have to react to, right? Like, if A.J. Brown
is still stupid, though. You agree, though.
Don't shoot the messenger just because we're the one that's delivering the news to you that he said something stupid or did something stupid. Like, that's my problem with some of these Philly fans. They get so attached to some of these players. Like, this one dude, he's in our comments. First off, dude, like, watches a ton of anime. And no disrespect to people that watch anime, but just saying, I mean, I'm an old school guy. I'm probably not going to go ask the anime bro for advice on the Philadelphia Eagles. Just saying. Secondly, this guy's like, stop with the T.O. syndrome, bro. You need to chill out. Like, you guys are becoming clickbait more. Why? Because we're bringing up that A.J. Brown went on a podcast with Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski, who were 2 notorious jokesters with the Patriots. We're really going to sit here and pretend that he's not going to be asked questions that are going to stir up drama? Like, that shit pisses me off. People were pissed about this, KJ.
What? Oh, that video.
But it's like, that's how we feel. Like, and if we can't laugh about that as Eagles fans, as the media, I thank the guy. He said, you need to be better as the media. I said, I'm glad to know you're considering us as the media, because I didn't consider us the media. But thank you. You made my night.
The media. We are not the media. We're social media.
We're a podcast. You know, we're an independent outlet that can talk about what we want. My point is, like, you can't be upset at Eagles fans and even the real media, right? Like, let's sit here and talk about WIP, Fox, ABC, CBS, PHLY, like all these like media sources who go there, who get interviews, all those things. you can't be mad at them either when they bring up things that A.J. Brown does. Like, I am just sick and tired of some of these people because they're physically attached to A.J. Brown or whatever, just constantly giving him the pass to do shit. Because I don't know. I'll leave it at this. I do not think that this podcast is going to go well. The one with Micah Parsons might have went well, but look at the perspective, right? It's Eagles-Cowboys. Obviously, A.J. Brown is never going to give in to the Cowboys. I can almost guarantee, and I pray to God I'm wrong on this. I don't want to be right on this. I want to be wrong more than I've ever been wrong. He's going to be asked questions like, so how would you feel about coming to play in New England next year? And he's going to have to answer that. Any way he answers that question, it's going to go negatively. Because the only positive way he can answer it is if he's going to say, well, I'm not playing in New England next year. I'm playing in Philadelphia. Sorry. And I don't think he's going to say that to Gronkowski and Edelman. I'm just calling it like it is. I hope I'm wrong. But as soon as I saw that picture, I had that reaction like Josh Block.
Yeah. Put the fries in the bag. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, to think that with the media thing, it's crazy. I mean, like, I think if we were there, we would not be asking, oh, AJ, we heard that you want to trade out or what. Like, I'm not going to be, if I'm one of the media guys, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just not going to be one of those reporters like bothering him about that stuff.
But if you're a Philadelphia media outlet, right? Hypothetically,
yeah,
you see George Pickens. Are you going to ask George Pickens that question? You know what I mean? Like, you all got to think, about perspective, like what media outlet is asking him that. Because if it's a New England outlet, they're definitely going to ask him that. You know, they want him.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. But I think, AJ just said that Philly's his home. And I mean, if that means that, then hopefully, and that's what it means. I mean, but we've seen a lot of players like say stuff like that, and then they don't mean it. I mean, like Kyrie Irving literally told a kid that he wasn't going to leave Cleveland the one year. He wasn't going to leave like how LeBron left, and then he freaking did leave like LeBron did and went to Boston, went to the Celtics. So you never know with these athletes. You just never know. Sometimes they say things and then they don't mean it at all. So
wait. Speaking of athlete, are you going to be an athlete today? Are you participating in that 3-point contest?
I don't know yet. We got to discuss that more. I got to see what I'm thinking about. But yeah, I got to see. There's a 3-point contest at the Philly Auto Show that I'm thinking about competing in.
Stay tuned, guys. If KJ competes in it, we'll announce it on the story if anybody wants to come out and watch.
I'm thinking about it. So I was just playing some ball this week, and my 3-point shot felt pretty good. So I was like, oh, I heard there's a 3-point contest. Let me see what I can do. So shout out to No Fly Zone. We'll see if they got a basketball hoop on their bus and they're doing a 3-point contest. Got to figure out more information about it, but we'll see.
Oh
yeah. But AJ Brown, like you said, KJ, he loves me not. I think you hit the nail on the head earlier. Like, he's so flip-floppy, right? Like, it's hard to kind of pick what direction.
Just who he is. And I think with Philly too, I think he also enjoys the back and forth where people will say, oh, we love you, AJ, or they'll say we don't love you. Like, some players, like, they thrive on that. Allen Iverson was a perfect example. He knew who his haters were, and he knew who people loved, knew that people loved them as well too. So I think just some players thrive on that. And this could keep on going on for multiple years, guys. Like, we could be saying like, oh, well, AJ's out. This offseason, and then he's back again, and he's probably doing the same drama bullcrap again. And then he drops the ball in a big game again. Like, this is going to be a recycling factor again and again, probably. So it is what it is with AJ. But I'll always respect what he's done. The time that he helped us win the Super Bowl. But it gets to a point. What's up?
So this just came in, and I want to talk about it before it's too late. And if you want to finish your take first, it's not a breaking news, but it's a very interesting story that I want to get your guys' opinion on. And if you guys want to call on the show, let us know. Listen to this story. Micah Parsons, I guess, on that podcast with AJ Brown. Here we go. Here comes the drama. He says that he was very close to being traded to the Eagles for Jalen Carter and some picks before the season
I would have done
started. He said it was very close. Before Jalen Phillips, it was me. I was really about to come. It almost happened. Parsons said he had to play with Jalen Carter or he would not come to Philly. So that would have been insane. I would rather have Jalen Carter over Micah Parsons. I'll come out and say that right now.
Yeah, me too.
Attitude-wise, future-wise, value-wise, physical specimen-wise, all day, Jalen Carter. What he did in that Super Bowl to Patrick Mahomes should solidify that to all Eagles fans. But the fact that this story is coming out right now is kind of crazy because thinking about the Eagles making a trade with the Cowboys for two high caliber players like that, two blue chip players, that's almost shocking. I don't know if I believe that because I don't know that Jerry Jones would even engage in that because Jerry Jones wouldn't even let the Eagles interview his coach. He blocked that a couple weeks ago. But we'll start with you, KJ, because I want to get some raw reactions to this. What do you think of this story?
Wow. I mean, if that's true, then that's pretty crazy. I think there was another story, and correct me if I'm not wrong. I think there was another incident where Micah Parsons could have been an Eagle, but he wasn't. Even as a Penn State fan, I'm going to tell you this right now. He is my most hated Penn State player ever. I just never really was a big fan of him, even when he played at Penn State. But yeah, he's just like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Micah Parsons. Do I think he's a great player? Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame kind of player as well. He definitely has that kind of, definitely that projection, I would say, to be a Hall of Famer. But I think also he's another guy who likes to just talk about fantasies and a lot of stuff about just, I mean, he definitely likes to mess with people. And I mean, I get that, but yeah, I mean, I would have not traded Jalen Carter though. It's kind of crazy. I mean, with Jalen Carter, dominant player. And I think definitely a guy that you keep for sure if you can. I think he's a guy who's got to be an Eagle for life, I hope. But I just don't think Micah Parsons, and I've been saying this, all the people that want Micah Parsons, or they did want Micah Parsons, I don't think he would have ever fit with this city. I don't think he would have ever fit with this team. I really just don't think he would have fit. Yes, he has the talent, but I think he would just not mesh with the city. I really don't think he would. I think he would just I think him and the organization would bash heads. I do not think it would have been a good, like, I just always had a weird feeling about it, and I still do to this day. And I don't think I'll ever have a good feeling about him being an Eagle. It's just something about it. I don't know what it is, but I have a weird feeling. Like it would not be good.
Broad?
I don't know, man. I mean, I would have done it. I would have done it. I mean, I don't care who's on our team at this point, whether it's Jalen Carter or Micah Parsons. Don't bother me. I think people seem to forget how much of a crybaby and how much of a problem Jalen Carter actually is. He didn't even play in the first game because he decided to spit on Dak Prescott, and he's a head case. He's nuts. And, you know, I think he's a great player. He's an outstanding player, but he's also very childish. So, you know, we can say that Micah Parsons wouldn't have made it in Philly, you know, like he wouldn't have matched. Like, we could say whatever we want. I would have taken either player, but to use the argument that, like, you know, like childish, like Jalen Carter is easily one of the most childish players.
Oh, he is too. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not. I think they're both pretty childish. I do definitely.
No, they are. But I mean, I would have done it, but at the same time, I'm fine with Jalen Carter though. You know what I mean? Like I think both of them. Now you could have sold me on having both of them. That would have been great. But I don't. But to me, it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. But I think the real story in all this, in all of this, is how much Micah Parsons wants to be an Eagle. We don't even know if this story is true, but this guy wants to be an Eagle so bad, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, he does want to be in Philadelphia. That is the biggest takeaway. That's very true.
That's all he wants. Over the course of the past couple of years, it's Micah Parsons may get traded to the Eagles. Micah Parsons doing this. Micah Parsons. Same thing with Myles Garrett. Every year is the same thing. Everybody's linked to each other. It's just so stupid. It's like you're either coming here or you're not. Other than that, I don't want to hear we're checking in where we're linked to you. I don't want to hear that.
And now Max Crosby apparently is parting ways with.
Oh, no, I would take Crosby right now.
Yeah,
right now. Give me Crosby.
That's fine. That would be a trade I'd be fine with. I know we're being called idiots in the chat, but I mean, I would be fine with Max Crosby. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't care. So idiotic. They're idiotic Eagles fans. I wouldn't hire them as the GM. Yeah, we know he's a monster. We know that he's a great player, but
he's a stud.
I said that multiple times, by the way.
Yeah, we said that.
Also, the Eagles kind of need an edge more than a tackle with Jordan Davis developing. You have 2 D tackles rather than now with Brandon. Like, who knows what Brandon Graham's going to do, too, with the Stoutland situation. Because I'll leave it at this, and this is the last thing I'll say because I know we're hitting the hour limit, and I know people got stuff that they got to do. But with what Broad said earlier about the Big Play Slay comment about Stoutland, Big Play Slay played defense, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he played completely across, like, he wasn't coached by Stoutland directly. But the fact that Stoutland had that much of an impact on him, I bet you it's probably the same level for Brandon Graham. So that's going to probably have way more of an impact on this team than any of us even know right now.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
We'll find out. Go ahead, sorry.
People that wasn't even coached by the guy are upset by this. It's just so stupid, man. It's just so childish by the Eagles. And you know what? Sooner or later, they're going to realize when they miss the postseason this year or they finish one game above 500, they'll notice it. And people are pissed. People are frustrated. And the number one, they could not care about the fans. Fans can have their own opinion about whatever. But they should be quite scared about the way that the players are reacting to this.
Yeah.
Definitely raises some eyebrows. Yeah.
But that's all we got for you guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this episode. Everybody who rocked with us, I know it was a little bit longer. EC12XX, I know you might say we're idiotic, but I appreciate you rocking with us the whole show.
Yeah, thanks for rocking with the idiots, bro.
Thanks for the views.
If you haven't, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. That would really help us a ton. And maybe we'll see you next Saturday if we are lucky enough. But that's all we got on the Sippin' Sports podcast. Please be sure to follow on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube our guy Broad Street Sports, Ryan Knight. He's hustling over there, doing a great job. Be sure to give KJ McCoy a follow on TikTok at KJ McCoy 302 and us a follow on Instagram at Sippin' Sports Pod. It's right there on the bottom right now. You can give us a follow. But other than that, everybody have a great and safe weekend. And we will be back next Saturday to cover everything breaking and whatever's going on in Philly sports.
And stay
have a good one, guys.
Listening to Sippin' Sports.